I'm Matt Braunger. This might help.
I am not a doctor.
This might help.
I'm not a professional.
Let's have fun. This honestly is a good time.
Honestly, I got no idea what I'm doing. What's going on? Who are you?
I'm Matt Braunger. This might help. The podcast.
Hey, welcome back to This Might Help. We have a repeat offender, my pal, formerly Portland, now worldwide comedian, Arlo Weierhauser. Arlo,
Hi,
how you doing?
buddy. How are you?
I'm good. You said you had jackhammers pounding outside the apartment?
Yeah, they're fixing the sewer line, and
Fun.
they're ripping up the sidewalk and
Mm.
sawing, doing a cacophony
Yeah,
of exciting sounds.
good times.
I'm hoping this is their lunch break because they've been quiet for
Okay. Well, we might find out midway through.
right.
Knock on all the wood. Hopefully not.
Let's go meet
Um,
some people.
I've had a good start. One of those mornings started out great and then just got like one of those emails that you're like, oh, what? But you said, and then another one, what? No, but I did that already.
Oh
What?
no.
So both bureaucracy kind of BS things. So it's like I'm kind of learning to not. My wife went to and looked at it, and we submitted for this thing, and
Yeah.
my wife is looking at it, and she's like, okay, what you have to do, and I'm like, I find when she's like, all right, it says right here, and I'm like, but I did that, but I dude,
Just automatic. No.
not yet.
Defensive.
Stop, dump it. I'm like, you're right. So I always have to.
Calm it down, bud.
I don't feel like, why does it always rain on me? But
Yeah.
I mean,
But a little bit.
it's just that thing where you've submitted all this stuff bit by bit, all the forms, everything.
Yeah.
And
sure.
you're like, I know they're not going to come back with the money they owe me. They're going to come back with, you didn't submit this form, but I did. And of
Yeah.
course they did. You're like, did I expect that? And then will it into reality?
Yeah. Was that my doing? Just
Did
my
I
own
do that?
mental. Fuck.
So yeah, and we're traveling today, and so just trying to get all the
Oh
the
shit.
tied up.
Where are you going?
Going to Portland.
Oh good.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
gonna rent out this place Kara has, and just getting it, get all the crap out of. That was the first thing I found. This we're just gonna take all this. It's all this nice furniture. We're gonna take it and just give it away to charity.
Oh, shit.
But this group that hauls it out, most of them don't do it because of COVID. And this one
Yeah.
group that does that, they are like, yeah, we operate out of Portland, all this stuff. And I submitted, then a one-line email. We actually don't operate out of Portland.
Oh.
And then
Mm.
I see they're based out of Tampa. And I'm like, why did you let me submit all my information?
How did you even find them?
I just laughed that off. And then the second thing came in, which is way too complicated to even talk about. But no,
Yeah.
but it's still just like,
Yeah.
everything's fine. But it was just that one of those mornings where you're like, what is someone fucking with me right now? What's going on?
I spent a good chunk of yesterday morning on the phone waiting to talk to somebody about insurance. And yeah, I don't even know if we made progress, but it took a lot of time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of waiting. I talked to quite a few nice people. I don't know if anything's different from the day before to yesterday. Well, but it was like, well, one system didn't tell the other system.
Oh,
And it's like,
that's
well,
what I'm going through with this second thing.
could
It's
you tell the system?
I gave you the file number. Can you look in the file?
Yeah.
Can't.
No.
The
Good.
person who told me about the problem won't write me back, but you will.
Super. I love this.
Where did the movie Brazil get its ideas? Where did Kafka's works? Come up
You
with
get
government
sad because you're like,
bureaucracy. Yeah.
this is it. This is what this is it. This is
Can
adult
I
life forever.
on a lighter note? Can I tell you just a real quick what I
Oh,
got
I need it.
car insurance for this car that I got in 2010. I was on the road in Seattle,
Mhm.
and I was on the phone with her, and it was like she was a lovely lady, like so nice and helpful, and we hit it off as much as you can with customer service
Right.
as in a friendly way, and she is like, she's like, oh, I'm not actually in LA. I'm in Seattle. What are you doing? Or no, I was in Sacramento.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Sacramento? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing comedy. And she's like, I love comedy. And I was like, oh, you should come to a show. And she came to a show and she
No
brought some
kidding.
friends. And then after the show, she gave me a look that I really didn't understand. And then one of her friends gave me her number.
Still got it, Braunger.
But it was like, no, you're my insurance lady.
But you're my...
You know,
I
don't know.
need you for that.
It wasn't like I was kind of seeing someone at the time, but so it was like
What was the look though?
I'm not gonna call this kind of walk. We met and then she kind of walked away like, yeah, like a little bit of a comedy. I had a girlfriend who would do kind of a come hither look, and she was kidding but not, but she was also super drunk.
Yeah, no matter. Electric, no matter what.
It was a little bit like that. Did a little bit like, and God bless her, and I'm flattered. But
that's really cute.
I hope if she's listening, she understands why I didn't call.
It's a professional relationship. Yeah, but I do get where she was coming from, because she's like, yeah, this guy's nice and charming. And then it's like, come see my comedy. Yeah, I could see.
Well, she said, she was like, when, where? I'm going to go. Oh, I didn't go. Oh, come to the. I never do that.
Never.
You know?
Yeah, you do that once, and then you learn. Oh, you can't.
No. Yeah, and
don't trust people.
I might have gone further if I was that person who's like, everyone I talk to. I'm a comedian. You should come see me.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to be that abrasive. I can't imagine.
Like the first.
Like, every time we talk to someone, it's an opportunity to get a fan. So just it's all about being a salesperson. Just pound the pavement and
hate it. Yeah, that I fucking hate
pound
that.
away your self-respect.
I hate that phrase so much.
Yeah.
Pound the pavement. It's not how anything works. It's like the first time that you find out that you can't trust your coworkers to behave like human beings.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, oh, okay.
I'm reminded of you with LGBTQ organization you're affiliated with in Portland, basically being asked to be a comedian's what do you call it? Hype crew or promotional squad for nothing.
Oh yeah. Do you know how much I love you for bringing up old beef? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it just that just struck me. Like, you know, I mean, we're not naming names here.
Bullshit.
Like,
I mean,
but it's like, yeah. You mentioned that to me, and my jaw dropped because there's no equivalency. So just talk about that for a second.
Yeah, can you fucking imagine if they were just like, hey, so I'm a straight white guy and I'm coming to town. And I noticed that you're a straight white guy too, and you have a show, Matt, right? That sells out every month. And has been going on for years at this point and has a tremendous following. So what we would like to do is get you to promote our show, because we're all straight white guys. The end. And we're like, whoa, so you want to have us open for you? Oh, no.
No, I have someone I brought.
So are you paying us? No, absolutely not. No, it's because we're the same. Oh, okay.
You should do it for straight white guydom.
Yeah.
Because we're oppressed.
Yeah. I don't value your time, but you should value my time. What a little piece of shit.
We were having a drink, you and I, and you just kind of just acidely told me that. And I was like,
yeah.
This person asked you guys to do what?
The
hardest thing for a comedian is promotion.
And it literally was, go pound the pavement, go put up all these flyers, we'll have them printed out. No, you go print them out. That was it too. It's like, we'll send you a file, you go print them out. What are you fucking talking about?
Who was paying for the paper and the printing? And like, I mean, it's so hard.
We're comics.
I think it was 2018, 2019, where I went, fuck it. I'm going to just spend the money. I'm going to hire a PR firm.
Oh,
they're a good
that's
PR firm.
Brilliant.
I'm still, listen, I'm still in contact with this guy. I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't do much for me.
Oh,
It is no, it's just what it is. I mean, I'm at a level that's fine and I make a living, but it's like really what's the New York Times going to write about me right
oh,
now?
yeah,
Right now, sure, there's stuff, there's baby, there's things, but like,
yeah.
my tour, oh, just a comedian's tour. Did he, you know,
I hear you.
Alexa,
Like social
stop.
media stuff,
We
but
set like 7 reminders, so they'll
yeah.
just go off during the. So anyway, so he couldn't. You don't get your money back, but I paid it, and he did do certain things. He got it, but it was like he sent me all the places he submitted. We wrote up a press release together. So all I'm saying is, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard
Yeah.
when you're paid thousands of dollars to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You were asked to do it for free.
And you may remember that we had already created a following over
Yes.
years of hard work.
You're right. It was
But it
not
was like,
only
well, just give us yours.
give us your time and effort and your following.
And your followers, yeah. And what if they don't fucking like you? Then what? What kind of trust do we have? Fuck off.
Yes. That's it. It's very much
That's
the mob.
tacky.
It's friend of ours and friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's like when you vouch for someone and they're shitty, you look like shit.
Absolutely. And like never complain about our audience except for when I do. And that's right now.
Sure.
That audience sometimes would be the most like finicky and like, oh man, the emails that we got after shows sometimes were genuinely like,
Yeah.
I know someone wrote this because it
Uh-huh.
was hurting their heart.
Yeah.
And their feeling is real and valid. But
Yeah.
this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I didn't like that there was mention of topic X, Y, and Z. So please just refrain from that in the future. Oh, honey.
Tell your comics, could you have a list of things comics can't touch on? It's like, we can't do that.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
never do that. If they go
They're
too far
finicky.
and nobody likes them, sure, we can maybe never have them back. But
Yeah. They're
you know.
particular. And I like that about them. It's like you don't get
Sure,
away
that's
with
great.
yeah. I love it. But
And I wasn't.
I'm not gonna fucking give you my audience. Fuck off.
Yeah. I mean,
Gross.
Portland audiences do get persnickety about issues for sure. And
Yeah. They don't like to be bummed out.
yeah, and I get it. Yeah,
But
it's the same stuff that kills in one place is not going to kill in the other place, and,
Right.
and all that jazz. But like I did a video for when we played Helium that last time together, and I just made a jokey video about how I'm in this lab where they make all my jokes for me, and I'm not actually funny, but these guys make them. That was the whole
it's all
joke.
engineered.
It's 30 seconds long, and I put it up, and a trans woman commented, okay, fine for putting this up, Helium, but since when has a cis male making a YouTube video ever been funny though? And it was
okay.
So it was mean, but it was also, why are you talking to Helium? I put this up. Like they didn't realize they were on like my Facebook
on
page.
your own.
What? So it was just like this thing of, but I maintain it's like I'm not gonna get offended by any of that because it's like, why?
Yeah. Do you want to see some really funny troll comments? Go look at Michael Bear said.
Oh boy.
Just read through those comments.
What?
I'm sick. Like, you know this.
Well, were people offended by you calling yourself coach?
Oh no! Oh, they're just like, what is that gender?
See, exactly.
Like
the opposite is so much
funny.
Fucking worse.
It's so funny. But I'm sick, and I think it's so like I genuinely love the attention. Like that's why like roasting, you know what I mean, is like so fun and like especially between good friends. Like I do love that you like thought of me.
Sure. Well, and now like I'm in your head.
Yeah.
So.
It's in there.
Yeah.
You fucking and it bothered you.
Yeah.
And you had to articulate something and put that into words and post it and reread it really quick just to make sure that it was then, and then sat back and watched the likes come. You know what I mean? Like,
I often wonder
go on.
The negative comment, what that person's doing with the rest of their day, because I had my wife and I logged out. I went to this local pharmacy 10 minutes before they closed and was like, "Hey, do you have any doses of the vaccine that are going to expire?" And they're like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
smart.
we have a couple."
Are you
And
serious?
yeah, I lucked out and I
Dude.
was like, "Can I call my wife?" And they're like, "Totally, get her down here." I'm like,
Holy
she's a
shit.
block away, and she ripped the baby out of the crib and drove over. And
Gross.
no, she was deeply asleep. And then we both got the shot. And I put this thing
Amazing.
up and was just to be like, "Hey, this works." You know, I'm grateful and all this shit. And I'm hearing about so many fucking look. I was gonna wait. I was not gonna do. My conscience would not let my fucking Catholic guilt would not let me do the bullshit a lot of people are doing, where they're stealing codes. Or I've heard of people that make good livings driving Postmates for one day, quitting and taking the tab and getting the shot. That's a scam people are doing.
That's
And I'm just
shitty.
like,
Fuck off. And that's why I can't fucking get an appointment right now. And I do fucking qualify.
Exactly.
And that shit, I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm
So
fixing to get pissed off.
I can dig it. The rollout has been tough, but this guy just wrote, you know, all these people wrote like, "Congrats, you know, blah, blah, blah. Happy
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah." But one guy, bearded guy, probably my age, just wrote, "No one cares." And I'm like, there's like 75 comments, bro.
But you fucking do though, bro.
You do, Jeff with a G, so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Fuck you.
Why'd you write anything, bro?
You care, dude.
Bro, you care.
You're pissed that you do, but that's on you, honey.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Like, Reddit is a very funny place because, like Instagram, a lot of ways, you curate what you see. Like, you're in charge. You're your own. And like your joke about being your own bartender, none of us are fucking good at it. We can't be trusted.
No.
So it's like, well, I get all this shit on my feed. Well, I put it there. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But it is just like an absolute hornet nest of just anger.
Yeah.
And righteousness. And like,
yes.
It's a fucking puppy video.
And people who yell "no one cares," it's always because they're mad that people care.
They're so
mad.
Dude.
I'm sure there was somebody there at Live Aid when Queen rocked the fuck out of that stadium and the world.
I refuse to believe that there was even one.
One guy was in the audience, arms crossed. No one cares. And the person next to him was like, "What are you?"
Yeah, just bawling, having a life-changing moment. It's some dude at the concession. I don't know.
No one can hear me yell. No one cares. This sucks. No.
What a bunch of turds.
Just screaming.
I don't know that I miss being out with people.
I get it. I mean, some people it's like relationships. They either got stronger or they completely broke. I think it's true of people.
I've retired.
They either became nicer or just total cocks.
Yeah, I don't. And introversion too. Like, I think I've crossed over completely. Like, the idea of going and doing shit later today, and I'm like, fucking absolutely not.
Oh, I gotta go to the airport.
No.
I'm still just what? And I've done that.
Are you just gonna put Rose in one of those like cat carriers?
No.
A little hermetically sealed bubble.
So close. Statistically, little babies don't get it. Like their version, it like bounces off the baby's system.
That's good.
Yeah, but he's still swaddled. We still hide her face and all.
Oh yeah.
We got ours and we got glasses. So
that was the other thing I was going to say. Yeah, my stepmom, when she went, she took an entire set of outside clothes, face protection, visor, everything, and then as soon as she got there, she just stripped it off. But she wanted me to tell you to use glasses. She wants me to tell everybody wear glasses.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you ready for the first call?
Fucking yeah. Let's do it.
Ready. So you know the deal. Let's roll the first one.
Hi, Braunger and Arlo. Big fan of both of you. So I am also a Portlander, also a homosexual, and have been very careful the whole quarantine. Am just about done with my second vaccination and am thinking that at some point I might like to date again. I'm wondering, what are some tips, Arlo, for you specifically for a queer lady who's lost all social skills from a year and months of quarantining, you know what I'm saying. Getting back out on the field, getting back out on the market. Gay dating advice, please. We need it. We're all here for it. Thank you.
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking know. I haven't fucking dated.
That's
I started
fair.
comedy at 30 and I was like, I'm gonna stop dating. And then I fucking did.
I mean, I remember you telling me that. You don't really date. You're still just no interest?
I don't know. Now, well, no, okay. Now the big difference is I want to trap someone into a marriage.
Oh.
I just want to be married.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to trick a spouse.
Gotcha.
That's all. We don't have to live together or anything weird. Just,
Oh, sure. Just want a spouse.
yeah. It is my spouse. A spouse.
Okay.
As far as dating, I'm fucking terrified of it still. I mean, virus wise, but then like, do you know how exhausting it is to fucking get to know somebody and be like, and then this happened, and then they tell you their shit? It fucking takes. I really do think apps is the way to go. And I've thought this for a long time. When I was a teenager, it was still very taboo to be online dating. That's how I like found people. So I've always been a big proponent of it. I feel like you can get a pretty decent read on somebody unless they're full-blown sociopathic in some kind of way. But then you'll know that as soon as you show up. So you just like pick a normal spot, you know what I mean, in public. But like you can find out so much about somebody before you have to go and see them in real life. And I think that's like safer and more
Yes.
sane, and like anyone that's like, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking. And it's like, then what are we gonna do on a fucking date, Dilly?
Yeah.
Cool it. Because I feel like they're gonna put in a bunch of wasted time. That's what this whole thing is, is making choices and like guesses. I'm like kind of dark about relationship stuff. This is like every relationship ends. There's to me no such thing as like a failed relationship unless you genuinely gave up like
Sure.
on yourself or on that person. But otherwise, every relationship ends, and you should expect that. Either you break up or somebody dies. Like that's how it goes. There is no forever. So just have a good time with the people you want to have a good time with. And like, I would fucking screen them. I would definitely use the apps.
Yeah.
This is not in any way. I downloaded a new one though because I do get bored and I like looking at people. Called Tammy. I don't know if it's any good, but there's people in LA. I don't know if there will be in Portland. I bet they're kind of happy in Portland.
Interesting.
Taimi.
Just that of course there's new ones. There's always new ones, I'm sure. But,
yeah, there's a huge hole though in queer dating, specifically just to exist as a non-binary person. They'll be like, sure, you can call yourself that, but like, what are you really? And then they make you choose male or female. So you're like, you fucking dick. Like you're worse than eHarmony. That's just like out front. They're like, we're for straights only, period. But to like market yourselves as like progressive and be like, oh, we're gender inclusive. No, the fuck you're not.
Right. So
you're not.
Harmony was Christian based, but they only have straights.
As far as I know, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think to your point of like you have to be brave. You have to lay out who you are, and everything. And then you look at each other's, and if you want to, I would like to hang out with this person, that saves you so much time, because that's the thing that always drove me crazy about being, just judging it based on, I'm attracted to their looks. We talked a little bit. It seems fine. And you go on a date and you're like, I feel like I'm letting them down. I'm not really enchanted by them. Enchanted is just a word, but you can get there faster now because of those apps. So yeah, I think that's awesome advice.
I think it obviously has a lot of flaws, but I think it for the most part weeds out some of the bigger like boulder-like problems and leaves you with an assortment of pebble-like problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody can't hold up a conversation or just truly doesn't want to put in the time, guess what? They don't want to be dating. They want to have sex, which is great fun, but like be on the same level. And that's great. And I don't know if this was also a funny code because I'm a dumb dummy for like dating for like hookup, which sure. I think that's easier by far.
Yeah.
To just put it out there and be like, yeah, let's hook up. But again, screening, like,
Yeah.
because here's the other thing that's gonna fucking trip me up paranoia wise is like people are getting together again now, but it's like, have you been safe for the whole thing or have you been sneaky getting together
Right.
in the
Right.
past? Like, just because it's safer now doesn't mean that you've been safe this whole time
Well, and
and you're still in danger. I don't know.
it's kind of like even before the virus, there were still a ton of sexual viruses, and people were
Yeah.
not getting tested regularly. People that
Oh,
had
yeah.
regular random sex were not getting tested because they felt fine.
Yeah, straight to
It's
the
the
worst
same
for that.
thing with COVID,
Yeah.
where you might be having it, but you're not getting tested because you
Right.
don't want to get tested because you don't want it. Same thing as sex as STDs. You don't want to find out a negative truth, and so you
Yeah,
just
and it's a little tiny bit uncomfortable, so I don't wanna do
I
it.
get it.
It's a
No,
teeny, teeny bit.
yeah, exactly. But
I
it's
don't
just
wanna.
it's the same. It's like you're the same person. We were all that person. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to get tested for any of
Right.
this stuff. But it's like if you're having a lot of random sex, you need to get STD tested.
Oh, yeah, you do monthly.
You
Queers,
know?
I think, are way better than straights about that. I think it's
Yeah.
much more part of our culture to
Yes.
be, yeah, better about testing, and of course, there's, like, a million of
I
exceptions,
did
but
like
it
her.
is there's a cultural aspect.
Yeah, I did like her phrasing of calling herself a homosexual.
Yes, I did too.
Like ELLE. Like,
Yeah,
is
and,
that the
like, Portland dating also is, like, kinda shitty. I know it's got a bad rep, but, like, they do kinda suck. I don't know what it is. I think they're too fucking nice.
yeah.
And, like, if you're nice, oh, fucking heaven. It's just like a yarn love cuddle puddle.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like nice, soft people. I might need to bring that up in therapy.
Well, oh,
Are you a
oh,
dick and kinda spiky? I'm into you. Alright.
nice. See there. There you go. Got it tight. That's right
Yeah.
on. Okay. Hope that helped, caller.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do. No, I think it did. It was good. Let's do caller number 2.
Great.
Hey, Matt. Every month I pay $5 to Patreon for what used to be a 3-hour podcast that I really, really enjoyed. It wasn't monthly that I would get the podcast, but I paid the $5 every month. Now I get the podcast more frequently, but it's smaller. And I'm wondering if I up my Patreon feature, if I get back to my 3-hour podcast, should I complain about that? Or do you think maybe the guy would come and wash my dog? These are just some questions I have. Thanks.
What?
My turn to say what you said. I don't
I
know.
don't fucking know, man.
I don't know.
What did he say?
Paid $5 a month for a 3-hour podcast that was regular, and then
And
he.
now he gets
Oh,
more.
you know what I think this is? This guy, yes, this guy meant for this to be a little prank call for last week's caller, which was Dana Gould, because Dana did a 3-hour podcast that came out whenever he wanted. God bless. I kind of loved it,
Yeah,
you know, because Dana's got 3 kids.
adore Dana.
But it would come out like a month after a month, and then the next one wouldn't come for like 6 months, and it racked me up because I knew people were frustrated, but I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I got other shit to do.
Just
Not that I was too cool. I still was like, I love the podcast. I was like, when's the
Yeah.
new one? God damn it. But yeah,
he called last week.
Patreon at $5, and now it's an hour, and it's pretty regular. I think it's like every 2 weeks. But he says it's $5 a month. You get this. I'm not going to come to your house and wash your dog.
That's what it is. Oh, I got a little jokester. I got a
Alright.
little comedian.
Yeah.
No lie.
So I will. What I'll do is I'll reach out to Dana and I'll have him wash your dog, but you
Yeah.
won't get it back for 6 months. There you
Or just whenever he fucking feels like it.
Hope-
That's
hope-
when you get
hope
it back.
Hope that helps. Okay, next call.
Funny.
Yeah, I seem to be facing an existential crisis of fairly epic proportions. The thing is, I don't want to live, but I don't want to die. I mean, I've got nothing to look back on, nothing to look forward to, no one to talk to, no one to turn to, no career, no job, no prospects, no future. And I just feel like hell. And I just, the career as a motivational speaker doesn't seem to be working out. So I'm not really sure where to go from here. And I don't know. Just any thoughts you could provide would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Dude, fucking woof.
Yeah. Well,
Motivational speaker gutted me.
yeah.
I fully fucking relate. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm fucking working on it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna this is gonna go dark for a little while, but I think it's okay to talk about because the more taboo we make it, the more we hide it away and we internalize that shit and it's garbage stuff. So like I wake up every day and am hit with an absolute atmosphere that, oh, I just would rather not. And it's not that I want to die. That's not part of it. I wish to cease to exist because what the fuck is this? For sure. Like, I also at most days of the week do not wish to be perceived. And I know that gets that's a complicated one. Just to be, I do not wish to occupy this fucking weird body. I am corporeal and I wish it weren't. Um, and absolutely, our careers in the same kind of way. And I'm sure for this person, slightly in more so because we've got Zoom and camaraderie, and we all a little bit socially codependent. I don't know what the motivational speaker social network is like, but with comedians, you can call up literally any one of us and be like, feeling pretty dark, and probably we're gonna be like, dude, me too. We can talk about it more openly. But yeah, like the feeling of having your career disappear is devastating. And it goes in phases and it's not just one thing. I talk about it with my therapist and I like it's not an easy fucking thing. It's like they get stumped often. I'm actually looking for a new therapist right now. Which is also fucking exhausting. And
Oh,
they'd be
God.
like, oh, I just and then you like become aware of yourself, like, oh, I'm shopping for people to tell my problems to because I can't solve them myself. Well, that feels fucking bad. Like that doesn't, either. But medication, I recommend. Therapists for sure recommend. And I wish I had the fucking thing, but I don't have the thing yet. And I'm aware enough that I don't know where fucking motivation comes from. I really don't, because I'm trying to divorce myself from like the process of shame and terror and fear and anxiety. But I don't know where fucking motivation. I don't know why you want to do shit. Why you want to go and why you go? Why do you want to go to Portland? Because you feel like you should. Because you want to. Why do you want to?
Yeah.
I fundamentally do not understand, and I do feel broken. I do relate a lot to this guy.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how to fix it.
it sounds like super, fucking Mr. Me Too to be like, yeah, like I've been there, but I have, and I am there. And it's not a thing I talk about that often, but it's like, I mean, just off the top of my head, last night I slept terribly because I have these nights sometimes where I go right to sleep and then I have a very vivid, action-packed 20-minute dream. And
Same.
it wakes me right back up and I don't get to sleep for about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And it's as if I've been dunked into the darkest parts of my subconscious and then left back on land. And it's a wrestling match. And when that happens, I do this exercise where I breathe in positive things I can think of and breathe out negative things. And, you know, not every breath, I don't have that kind of fucking ninja like yoga technique, but like it helps, but you also get sick of it, just like stretching, just like exercise sometimes.
Yeah.
Or being nice and not flipping out. I mean, the cause of why we exist, people are like, I'm looking for meaning. It's like, no, I think most of us are kind of just looking for why the fuck we get up and why we continue, because the answers aren't there. And the thing is, you really have to make them up. You have to. And it's the reason why people join cults. It's why people become intensely religious or get heavily into substances, or, you know, things. It's everything you said is absolutely true. It's just, we live in a society where you go to work or you're around people and you just sometimes you just want to scream, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck is this? What is all of this? You know?
Yeah.
But you can't. And you can't flip out, and you can't, because of you know, I'm not saying like we should all be allowed to just fucking flip out. And that's the problem. Because you are, but that would be horrifying if everyone just kind of did that. And sometimes you don't feel that way.
Yeah.
And so kind of, you know, a yoga instructor once said that the key to living, and this is true, but feels bullshit and it's hard to apply, but it's the closest I can come to in this moment, is the key to living a life of joy is to embrace joy, or to always be turning towards how to embrace joy. And to me, that sounds utterly exhausting, because joy is such a bold phrase. It's such a, you know, joy is so big, but joy is also simple, where you kind of have a quiet moment where you're like, I did it. I did a good thing, or this person cares about me, or I'm not worthless.
Yeah.
You know, I think, caller, one thing that, and I've had a lot of friends talk to me about, I don't see the point of going on, and I just, you know, I'm not going to do something crazy like kill myself.
Right.
I don't want to kill myself, but I don't want to live anymore, you know? And that used to make me go, oh my God. And I still, if a friend does say, I think I'm going to end it, yeah, I do go, oh my God, it scares the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
Because I feel responsible. I feel like I can't leave them. But you can't live that way. That said, when someone says like I don't want to live, it's incredibly natural. And that might sound really alien for someone listening right now, but we've all kind of had that thought of, what the fuck is the point of this? I don't want to do this fucking dance I was taught to do.
Yeah.
By people who are different than me, who don't know what I'm feeling, who don't know the experience I'm going through. We apply these grand lessons, you know, and this is why I treat this show as a comedy thing, and it is, and I have fun doing it. You know, I don't give clinical advice. I give advice based on my life and the bullshit I've done and the good things that I've done, but like, and my guests. But I can't imagine approaching this question clinically, because honestly, I would feel like I was pandering. I would feel like, here's the steps we go through. And the other person might feel like, who the fuck is we?
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like a dick for even saying therapy and medication, because I still feel this fucking way.
But you're offering something concrete that you know. That's to my point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
No, not at all. I didn't mean to cut you off either.
No, you didn't. I'd said enough.
It does make shit easier, though. I will say that. Like, I really do believe in medication, get your shit like balanced out or whatever. And like, I see, I'm like on a couple boards on Reddit for the specific medication that I'm on.
Oh, good.
And that's incredibly helpful for just people to be like, hey, is this fucking normal? And it'd be like 300 people being like, yeah, that's the fucking side effect. But it's also helpful because people will go there preemptively and be like, my doctor wanted me to prescribe this, but I didn't know, like, I don't really know if I want to take medication. And then usually there'll be some kind of back and forth there. It was like, well, where's this fear coming from? And it's like, well, I'm a creative, or like, I don't want to have a soft dick, or like, I don't want, like whatever the thing is. And usually just they're talking about it, it's like, well, try.
Yeah.
And if that is a problem, you can address that problem later, but don't ignore the problem now for a maybe problem down the road. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
And that kind of applies in a lot of ways. It's like a lot of the reason we feel hopeless, and I think generationally, exponentially so,
Yeah.
is because we've seen the entire system dissolve before our eyes. There
Yeah.
is no, I can work every day and I will never own a house. I will always rent, and that's okay. But like, why?
Oh, yeah.
And I think we get better at talking about it every generation, but and in a lot of ways to find the that like drive, that passion, that like thing that you really want to do,
Yeah.
it's putting it off now because maybe later it won't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And in the moment to moment, my
Yeah.
concern earlier today was both those my little instances of bureaucratic nonsense made me furious. But it's like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I feel it.
Used to. I almost did. Not, but I kind of just was like, well, but you know, we rarely go, I won't for me, and I am lucky enough to go, well, I won't because I am holding a baby. That'd be bad. But I mean, look at it that like think of it's, we tossed around treat yourself when it's like, oh, go eat a cupcake or have a couple beers, but it's like, no, treat yourself by being nicer to yourself in those
Yeah.
moments, and give yourself a little more credit that it is a struggle. It's always a struggle.
Yeah.
You
My
know?
old therapist used to say, hold yourself, and then like hold yourself to like positivity, but just those two words together to like start off like a self-healing process to me
Mhm.
was always really impactful, of just
Sure.
hold yourself, and just like hold yourself still, or hold yourself in the present, hold yourself, and then also fully acknowledge that this shit is not easy. There
No.
is no, oh, just solve the problem now for the problem in the future. That doesn't, that's not it. It's complicated and it takes time and work.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else the fuck are we gonna do? You know what I mean?
Seriously.
We're
Yeah.
here. We might as well fuck
We're here.
around.
Yeah. And
Mm.
yeah, if it's that thing where it's sometimes it's comforting to be like, yeah, but you don't have a choice.
Yeah, you just don't though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I do believe in the grand scheme of things are getting better, in terms of all this. We've all gone through a colossally crushing experience.
Yeah. And it
No-
feels, it's a type of exhaustion that like, I don't know, could be duplicated. It
Yeah.
is a unique set of circumstances to create exhaustion like this, because it is social, personally fearful, traumatic in a lot of ways on a global scale. Like it's a lot of shit. And I don't think yeah, it's
Mhm.
unique.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of take it all with a grain of salt because
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
Oh,
maybe play video games. I know that video games get a bad rap, but I fucking love video games.
they're
It's
great.
just it's escapism.
Yep.
It like you do little fun tasks sometimes, and if you do the online ones, like I've never played an online game where I didn't simultaneously make at least a couple pals and get roasted in a way that made me truly feel
There you
honored.
go. Yeah.
Honored.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Play video games.
Well, on that, is there anything you want to plug before we wrap it up? Anything
Yeah, I
coming
think
up? Any
so.
like?
Oh, on Thursday. Wait, when
Okay.
is it?
Well, what is it? It won't. Well, no, it won't. It'll come out next week.
Okay. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
I
Well,
have a thing on Epics you can watch if you want. Call on season 2 of Unprotected Sets. But otherwise, let's go play video games.
let's play video games. Well, Arlo, it's always a pleasure. It was awesome to see you, and I got a little greedy and had you on a second time, but
Thank you. I'm
let's
honored.
Zoom and do another show together. That Portland Mercury one was so fun.
So fun.
That
So
was-
fun.
But
Appreciate it.
I won't see anyone in Portland, but I would say hi to people otherwise.
I know. That's weird too. You're gonna be so close.
Maybe this summer or fall or something.
Yeah. At least you'll get to maybe go eat a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get a nice takeout or something, or get an outdoor beer. That's it.
That'll be nice. Well,
Yeah,
safe
that'll be
travels
good.
to you.
All right, thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, that was great and cathartic. Hope you enjoyed Arlo Part 2. If you want some advice or want to give me, give me advice or a comment, whatever, give me a call and leave a message at 323-763-0228. Again, 323-763-0228. And thanks.
This Might Help with Matt Braunger was created and hosted by me, Matt Braunger. Produced by Outer Circle Media. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.